안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to Wednesday's edition of The Culture Wave. I'm Kwon So-hwa in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects and stay up to date with K-entertainment, K-tourism, K-trends, K-everything. And we're joined by our co-host Walter Lee today in the studio. Hello, Walter.
Hello, Soa, and happy, Wednesday today, not Monday, is it? So hello, everyone. Back as the co-host to fill you in with the latest K-entertainment issues.
Right, it is a happy Wednesday and
Yes.
also a happy belated Children's Day,
Yes.
belated Buddha's birthday, and
Yes.
also Walter's birthday.
Oh, yes, it was indeed. So thank you very much, Soa.
All right, and we are also joined by our Arirang's news feature reporter, Park Gun-woo. Hello, Gun-woo.
Hi guys, and happy birthday, Walter.
Thank you.
And also a big hello to our viewers as well. I'm Park Gun-woo, news features reporter at Arirang News, and I got some interesting news just for you, so stay tuned.
Well, Gun-woo, as our go-to reporter for travel and culture, you have introduced incredible places to our viewers. Last week, you were in Hampyeong for the Butterfly Festival. And right after, you went to a place to report on something very meaningful, right?
That's absolutely true, Soa. So this time I visited Andong, which is one of the regions that's been recently hit by the worst wildfire in South Korean history. And the region has seen drops in visitors these days, but I noticed something hopeful that's been happening there as special tourists have been returning back to the region. But before I tell you more, follow me and I'll show you what's been happening. Weeks have passed since the worst wildfire in South Korea's history mainly scorched Gyeongsangbuk-do province in the southeast part of the country in March. Over 99,000 hectares of land, roughly the size of 140,000 football fields, were affected. In hard-hit regions like Andong, signs of the disaster still remain, from charred trees on once-dense forest slopes to ruined homes, warehouses, and damaged cultural heritage sites. And with recovery still underway, tourist numbers have declined. But recently, change has been made thanks to volunteer tourists, visitors who come not just to travel, but to help. Wearing gloves and masks and fueled by sincerity, they're clearing away burned tree branches and gently cleaning cultural treasures using camellia oil amid thick dust.
I was scared when the wildfire happened, though my school wasn't very close. I can only imagine how terrifying it must have been for people living nearby. That's why I came believing that small acts like ours can lead to big changes.
Burnt tree branches like this are scattered everywhere. Just clearing one away helps bring life back to this region. And especially in a place that's full of cultural heritage, such as Andong, you get to realize how much we almost lost. And that's why every small effort here truly matters. And the residents have taken notice.
The wildfire happened overnight. Everything just burned down, so it means a lot seeing these young people come all the way to this rural area to help us.
After lending a hand, participants also get a chance to explore the area's beauty and history.
I never had the chance to visit neat places like Manhyujong Pavilion before. Knowing it almost burned down made the visit even more meaningful.
To boost recovery, the government is also rolling out campaigns to encourage more visitors, offering travel discounts and support, along with more volunteer tourism programs. And with the help of these visitors, efforts are raising hopes to bring vitality back to fire-stricken regions.
This program, Gun-woo, is such a good idea. I mean, many people actually avoid traveling to places that were just hit by a disaster, but this program actually encourages travel to exactly those places. But are there any other similar tourism, volunteer tourism efforts that you can share?
There are some I would like to share today. So the first one example is from Hawaii called Mulama Hawaii. So Mulama means to give back in Hawaiian. So these programs under this initiative include beach cleanups and native tree planting. The movement especially gained attention after the devastating wildfire on Maui a few years ago, which encouraged more people to visit Hawaii while also lending a helping hand. And another example today I want to share comes from Korea during the country's worst oil spill in 2007 in Taeangun County in Chungcheongnam-do Province, the Midwest part of the country. The disaster was catastrophic, I must say, but it sparked a nationwide volunteer movement with around 1.23 million Koreans rolling up their sleeves to clean up oil and rescue injured wildlife. The efforts were so impactful that it became known as the miracle of the West Coast, a powerful testament to civic spirit.
That's absolutely excellent to hear. And for those who are interested in joining these programs, are there any that people can take part in?
There are plenty that you can take part in. So to name some examples, in Seoul, there are programs where you can tour parts of Jongno, which is home to many major tourist attractions, such as traditional temples, traditional palaces like Gyeongbokgung, while also taking part in environmental cleanup activities. Other major cities like Busan and Daegu also offer similar activities as well. One of my personal recommendations would be helping out on farms in rural areas like Asan and Iksan, because it's not only meaningful, but also a unique way to experience Korean farming culture, like enjoying some makgeolli, Korean rice wine, after a long day's work. For more information, you can also check out the official volunteer registration website, which is available in English, and you can see it on the screen right now. Also, you can sign up directly through the site, so never miss it.
Great recommendations and great reporting, Konu. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And it's now time for our daily dose of K-entertainment news with Walter Lee. Starting off with K-pop or K-pop stars on a big fashion stage.
Not just any fashion stage. So one of the biggest fashion stages in the world, K-pop idols took center stage, or should I say onto the carpet of New York's fashion's biggest nights, the 2025 Met Gala. Now, held on Monday at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, this year's event embraced the theme of 250 years of black men's fashion history, with global stars donning bold black and white colors or looks. Now, BLACKPINK's Jennie wore a classical Chanel black dress. Now, I know this dress took over 250 hours to make. It's also an homage to the 1920s, 1930s of Coco Chanel, with oversized pearls and a white ribbon hat as well. Now, Lisa also, obviously from BLACKPINK, donned a Louis Vuitton glittering lace jacket and logo embroidered mesh stockings. And our other member from BLACKPINK, Rosé, was in a flash Saint Laurent tuxedo. Making his Met Gala debut, 17's S. Coups delivered a twist on tradition, cladding a hanbok-inspired grey suit with a flowing overcoat, and he changed his hairstyle to a silver-looking hairstyle.
I have to say, all of their looks were awesome. And I mean, I am a Jennie fan, a little biased there. I think the Chanel look was one of my favorite. And I think it took around 330 hours to make that. It's just because I'm a big Jennie fan. Yes. I noticed that. But okay, we're going to move on now to Squid Game. And finally, we've got some news about the final, the trailer for the final season.
If you were on YouTube at any point within the last couple of days, you would have obviously seen that Netflix dropped the teaser for Squid Game Season 3, and obviously fans are losing their minds over it. The teaser kicks off with those infamous pink guards marching in carrying a mysterious coffin, but who's in the coffin? Of course, it's Ki-hoon. Then suddenly eyes open and it's obviously game on from there. For the final season, Ki-hoon returns to the game with a new mission, but he's not the only one hiding something. The enigmatic frontman is back, still in the shadows, and the few survivors are clinging on to whatever they hope or whatever they've got left. Now, as we know, Squid Games shattered records back in 2021, becoming Netflix's biggest hit ever. Season 2, over 165 million views in just the 3 months. Season 3 was filmed right alongside Season 2 and hits our screens on June 27th. And let's see how much audience that will bring in.
Can't wait for that. And last but not least, we've got some movie news.
Yes, of course. Now, we're speaking of hits. The Korean film Yadang the Snitch, starring Kang Han-ul, is officially the biggest domestic hit of 2025 so far. Now, released on April 16th, Yadang the Snitch held onto the #1 spot throughout the recent holiday weekend, topping the box office for 5 out of the 6 days and is drawing in over 830,000 viewers from May 1st to May 6th alone. Now, its total audience reached more than 2.67 million, knocking the other Korean movie, Hitman 2, out of first place for the year. Now, Kang Han-ul plays Lee Kang-soo, a broker who sells drug intel to the authorities for profit. Alongside him, a morally grey prosecutor played by Yoo Hae-jin, and a determined detective who will risk everything to take down a drug cartel.
Well, it was so far my personal favorite movie of the year, so I can see why we're seeing these figures. But thank you very much, Walter, for those updates, and stick around.
Will do.
And now let's move on to our AI anchor, Ari, with more culture-related news.
Hello and welcome to your AI guide to the latest cultural updates from Korea. Here's our top story. The original Korean musical Maybe Happy Ending has clinched the top prize from the New York Drama Critics Circle. It was named Best Musical by the Circle, one of America's most prestigious playwriting honors, which has been presented annually since 1936. Created by writer Park Chun-hyo and composer Will Aronson, the futuristic love story between two helper robots premiered last November at Belasco Theater in New York, and its run has been extended through January 17th due to its high popularity. The show was also nominated in 10 categories at the 78th Tony Awards, including Best Musical, and received 3 nominations at the Drama League Awards. The Korean National Ballet will perform The Lady of the Camellias at the Seoul Arts Center's Opera Theater from today through May 11, kicking off its 2025 season. Created in 1978 by renowned choreographer John Neumeier, the ballet is based on Alexander Dumas' 1848 novel of the same name, which tells a tragic love story set in 19th century Paris. This marks the first full-length performance of the ballet in Asia. The production is directed by Korea's ballet legend Kang Soo-jin, who became the first Asian dancer to win the prestigious Benoît de la Danse Award in 1999 with this very ballet. The Gyeongju National Museum is hosting a special exhibition on ceramic art from the Goryeo dynasty. Titled Molding the Blue World, it highlights the artistic pinnacle of Goryeo dynasty ceramic craftsmanship. On view for the first time in Gyeongju, the exhibition features 97 exquisite pieces of Sangyeongcheongja, or shape-style celadon, modeled after animals and plants such as lions, monkeys, ducks, pomegranates, and lotus flower. The exhibition runs through August 24th. That's all from me. Keep it tuned to the Culture Wave.
What do BLACKPINK Jennie's songs Mantra and Zen have in common? Both of the titles are Buddhist terms. Riding on the Hallyu wave, Korean Buddhism's global influence is growing bigger. We also hear a lot about the hipness of Buddhist culture these days. Now, for more on this, we are joined in the studio by Haeju Snim, Director of the Meditation Center at Jingwansa Temple. Welcome to the program.
Welcome. Hi, thank you for inviting me here today. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for being here with us today. And first, please, Snim, tell us a little bit about the Jingwansa Temple.
Jingwansa Temple has a history of over 1,000 years, dating back to the Goryeo dynasty. And it's located on the beautiful Bukhansan mountain, so it has a peaceful environment. And because the temple is nestled in the mountain, so we can feel the natural peacefulness when we get there. So it has a calm and contemplative atmosphere and allowing people to meet themselves and reconnect with their true nature.
Just listening to that description makes me very relaxed.
Yes, yes, that's definitely.
And Jingwansa Temple is also very famous for foreigners. They make frequently visits there as well, and especially because it's one of the 4 major temples surrounding Seoul. So what do foreign tourists experience there?
When there are some international visitors, we offer some meditation practice, so meditation retreat or meditation teaching or class, or we can offer some temple food, tasting temple food, or cooking the temple food. And also we have 수륙제 ceremony, which is a traditional Buddhist ritual honoring ancestors and all the beings who passed away in the past. So we share our ritual ceremony with with the people from all around the world.
And you actually mentioned just before the Buddhist temple food. We've heard that many foreign tourists are very interested in Korean Buddhist culture, such as temple food, as well as these days temple stays as well. How do they come across these sort of things, and how do they get interested in them?
Usually, I think they see the temple stay program or the temple food via social media or documentary. So they just look at the documentary or some video clips, and then they get interested in it and they want to experience it in person. So they just come to the temple and then find some different kind of programs. And especially the chef Eric Rippert came to Jingwansa, and he learned about how to cook the temple food with mindfulness. So we need some peaceful mind when we cook. So they learn about the mind. And I heard that he's writing a book called Mindful Cooking, and he's mentioning about the Jingwansa temples. Yeah.
And I also believe that Eric Rippert, the chef that you just mentioned, that he sees temple food as a very sustainable and valuable cuisine for the future, especially with climate change and the environment changing around us.
Right. So we have the value. That kind of value in temple food, so we can see the meaningfulness.
All right, now from temple food, now we want to shift over to a slightly different topic, a little bit of K-pop actually. Okay. Now the influence of K-pop stars like Jennie with her songs that include Buddhist elements, as I mentioned before, mantra and Zen, and also some mentionings of Buddhism by other K-pop stars like Jang Won-young from IVE.
Oh, yeah.
She recently on one of a talk show in Korea mentioned a Buddhist book as well. So all of this is actually contributing to foreigners having more interest in Korean Buddhism. So first off, Sinim, have you heard of Jennie's mantra and Zen, and what do you think of the songs and this influence?
This is a very interesting question. Yes, I listened to the both songs, Mantra and Zen, and I was delighted to hear that songs. Of course, it was quite interesting to hear that, listen to the music, but it was very good, and because it's made by the K-pop star and very young generation. Right. So it was quite surprising to me. They are using the Buddhist terms. But in mantra, I think the mantra is not a Buddhist, it's a Buddhist term, but I think it wasn't used in the Buddhist way. So I think mantra is an English term that is used for the affirmation, or we are kind of chanting, I'm going to be like this, or I'm this kind of person. So I think the mantra is used as a kind of a personal way. So, and for the Zen, it was quite interesting to look at that and listen to that, the lyrics especially. And I saw the music video, and I found that there is an image of the queen of the Shilla dynasty. And then I heard that this is quite Buddhist related cultures embedded in the music video. So I was quite surprised, and I think it suggests that the journey of awakening, realizing one's own energy and the true nature, and living as the 주인공, is the leader of our own lives. So we can see the very meaningful things in the music video. And I think it's very meaningful impact for the younger generation, because when they listen to that, in a subconsciously, they will think about that kind of things. Oh, I'm the leader of my life, or and also I found that everything is one and one is everything in the music video. So I think it talks about the true nature, and true nature isn't changed at all. Even though so she showed many different kind of expressions or many different kind of appearance. So I think we can find those kind of meaningful values in music video, and I think this is very meaningful time. Yeah.
It makes me want to go back and listen to the songs
yeah.
and watch the music video from a different perspective once more.
Right.
Now, the Buddhist community, however, itself is also it appears to be reaching out to the younger generation and to a wider generation with some fun events and also unique merchandise. Do you feel that Korean Buddhism is becoming more hip these days?
I think so. Yeah, I do feel the Korean Buddhism is becoming more hip and appealing to especially younger generation. For example, foreign influencers were visiting Korean temples, and then they showed they shared their experience on social media, and then it became popular. So many foreigners actually saw that, and they came to the Buddhist temple in Korea. So like that kind of things, and also by combining deep tradition with creative expression, it looks more contemporary. So it has a depth of Korean culture, but also it has a contemporary expression. So I think, yeah, it becomes more hip and appealing to the younger generation. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can definitely see it as well. And the Buddhist community also holds various programs and events to raise awareness of Korean Buddhist culture to the world. Could you introduce some of them to us?
Sure. So there are many wonderful programs and events that introduce Korean Buddhism to the world. The Lotus Lantern Festival a few days ago. Yeah, we had the Lotus Lantern Festival, and many international visitors came to see and experience the Lantern Festival. And also Buddhist Expo, so we can see the younger generation's culture in the expo. And also we have Sun Meditation Festival and Sun Meditation Summit, and it's from the April through the October. So you can visit different kind of temples and different kind of regions to experience different, many various meditation practices and some meditation practices. And also we have Temple Food Grand Festival. So you can join in there, and then we are going to invite some 6 monastic chefs, and then they are going to show how to cook and what is the meaning and value of the temple food. So
I'm very interested in that one.
Yeah.
I'll keep note of those events. Now, what do you think about Buddhism being perceived as a part of Hallyu?
Hallyu. I think it's very positive that Buddhism is being recognized as part of the Korean Hallyu wave. And it means that Korean Buddhism is gaining international awareness, which is a wonderful opportunity. And through this, we can introduce the richer over 1,600-year history and culture of Korean Buddhism to the world, and also share new ways of practicing and living mindfully. So in doing so, we are not just passing on tradition, we are offering people around the world another path to living with greater peace and wisdom and meanings.
Excellent. And do you in particular have any upcoming events or projects that you're planning that could be maybe of interest to our viewers?
Yeah, sure. So I mentioned the Temple Food Grand Festival. Right now, many temples are celebrating the Buddha's birthday, and it passed. And then we have a Sun Meditation Festival, which is taking place from April to October across various regions. And different Sun meditation programs are being offered throughout the country. So if anyone be interested in the meditation, it would be a wonderful opportunity to join. And also in June, we will have the Temple Food Grand Festival, and we will be inviting 6 renowned monastic chefs who specializes in traditional Korean temple cuisine. And this year's festival is especially meaningful as we will be reflecting on the cultural significance of the temple food being designated as an important, intangible cultural heritage of Korea. So participants will have the chance to learn about the philosophy and the tradition behind the temple food and to experience its deep cultural and spiritual value. So I warmly invite everyone to come and take part in these meaningful celebrations.
Well, I can imagine that many foreigners, if they make visits to Korea, it's a very different experience from the regular K-shopping or going to K-pop concerts and so forth. So I guess that's very great information where they can learn a little bit more about Korean Buddhism as well.
Right.
Now, finally, would you have maybe a message to the Culture Wave viewers or maybe some Buddhist teachings that you would like to share with us?
Oh, sure. So in Buddhism, we emphasize the interdependence and interconnectedness, the understanding that we are deeply connected. Because of this, there is no need to cling or become overly attached. And instead, we can be kind to all beings and recognizing that they are a part of ourselves. And this teaching reminds us that each and every person is truly precious. So I hope you will recognize how valuable you are. And by doing so, naturally share the same, the sense of preciousness with others around you. And when we realize our own worth, we naturally come to embrace and honor the worth of others.
It's something that we hear around us, those words, but it's quite difficult to follow at times. So hearing from your words makes us kind of reflect deeper on these meanings. So thank you very much, Hae-Joo-Sunim, for sharing your story with us today.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Yeah.
May you find a peace and share it with people around you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you, Walter, as always. And we're going to see you back again soon.
See you very soon.
Thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on the Culture Wave for your daily dose of K-culture issues.